there are organizations that are so entrenched in our lifestyles, companies, organizations, telcos, we can't just shut them off and say we're not willing to use that anymore. Well, not that we can't, but we won't. It's not. Could you imagine everybody boycotting their cell phones? No one's going to do that.
I mean, we're like part of the system now. Right?
That's right, man.
That's how it is.
And it's a kind of a benefit and drawback situation. If you were to position to somebody, go to somebody who feels really strongly about some of that NSA stuff, or some of that privacy, some of those privacy issues, et cetera, go to them and say, okay, I've got the perfect solution for you. Put down your cell phone and be done with it. The benefits of the technology for most people still outweigh the drawbacks, even though those drawbacks seem to increasingly continue to increase as the benefits increase. You know what I mean? It's relative. Like, the more important technology is to you in your lifestyle, the more data you need to be sharing with technology in order to take advantage of those new features. It seems inevitable. This merging of these two different informational spaces, your real life and your technological life. This idea of being connected all the time and not having any way out of that. Like, sometimes I feel too connected to begin with, and anybody can interrupt you at any given time. You think about how many private moments you have that are uninterruptible. None. That phone can literally take any moment and make that moment its moment, even though that was not the intention. The phone has so much power over us, the rights that you give to it over you. We inevitably end up giving those rights away, even though oftentimes they're detracting from the value of the moment that we're in. And I don't know what's happening psychologically for that to occur, but it seems to be the case for everyone. I don't know very many people that have their phone ringing or have a notification go off and don't go and look immediately. Sometimes you'll catch yourself where you almost have a physical reaction to the thing happening. You know, when you have an itch in your leg and you scratch it, you don't even think about scratching it. You just go to scratch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no conscious decision to scratch it. And the phone is the same thing, where we're training ourselves to physically react when it either makes a noise, which is a form of stimulation, it speaks to our senses, or it buzzes, like actually physically interacts with us. And those things that appeal to our senses are what build that very unnatural relationship where the phone becomes this entity, this thing that's talking to us essentially.
Yeah, and even when it's not notifying you, like, you just kind of have a natural habit to check your phone.
Yeah, the phantom thing where you feel like your phone buzzed but it didn't. You've heard of this?
Yeah, when you're walking on the street.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, how did I just feel my phone vibrate? It didn't vibrate.
It's like, I got to check just in case.
That's right, and a lot of people claim to have experienced that. It's amazing the way that it trains us. So yes, I don't. Again, one of those technological advancements that I don't think we can stop is the one that you mentioned, which is this idea of singularity, where we eventually take all of these things that the phone is and integrate them with us physically, because I think the physical integration has already occurred. It might not be in our veins or in our brain or in our blood supply, but it has created an emotional and physical bond already. And we have just given in wholeheartedly. We haven't tried to protect ourselves from it in any way. Everybody that I know is attached to that device in an unbelievable fashion. It panders to our need for acceptance, our need to socialize. You know, you get people that will spend enormous amounts of time on their Facebook, looking at pictures of their friends, whatever. So they're looking at pictures of a person that they could very easily reach out and interact with, but they're instead, and this is like a super common thing, instead they're choosing this abstract relationship where it's completely on their terms. You get to have access to these social interactions only when you want, how you want, and I can totally see why that's addicting for some people. It's a really easy way to get some of that feedback, to get some of those positive vibes and feelings. You know, somebody left a like on your photo or whatever, and you get that positive vibe of acceptance, and it was so easy for everyone. The other side of that discussion is the fact that they're making a fortune. They're making a fortune off us. You know what I'm saying? They are using all that information that we create. Okay, all the content that we share becomes their content that they can sell against. You know, and so those little thumbs that make you feel a little bit better are big dollars for somebody other than yourself. So you are doing work for somebody, even though it feels like you're getting more out of it than you're putting in.